Welcome back to Torment. Alright, let's go down into the Underbelly, the only part of Saga's Cliffs we have not been to yet.
Ready.
There's a pauper down here.
If you think that's best.
And the pauper snickered at me, okay. So levy.
Sure.
Cheap and tasty meat, straight from the vat. Delicious.
Yes, child.
What is that? Let's talk to Pelii. Is that another sticker? This violet-skinned visitant paces back and forth between the cavern's opening. It wears fine clothes that serve to accentuate the tall, thin crest on its head. A symbol has been painted on the crest, mirroring the insignia marked on its chest. Its clothes are finely tailored and well made. The name of the creature's race crawls to your mind. It's Vargel. It's Vargelin. The same as Deviatiku, or I think that's what the guy's name was. This one has temporarily chosen to be female. Her bulbous eyes flash quickly around her surroundings before focusing directly on you. The council didn't send you. That much is plain. Her voice is high and fluting. You're aware that this cave isn't safe, I hope. What exactly do you want? This cave isn't safe? No, unless you trust the discretion of the sticker. Those insectoid monsters that are all prowling about. Most people are afraid of them. I was wondering what you're doing here. I am conducting a diplomatic negotiation on behalf of the city. Unfortunately, I am not dealing with a reasonable species. Her chest flutters irritably. I've made no progress at all. Days wasted in this miserable tunnel. I have nothing to show my superiors. Who are you? An agent and negotiator, dispatched here by the council, but that should be obvious from my clothing and my guards. What council do you serve? She gives you an incredulous look. The ruling council of the city, of course, the heads of the slave families. You must be new to Saga's Cliffs. Very new. So maybe I can help you negotiate. She looks you up and down, considering. Doubtful. But you might have other skills I could use. The circumstances call for a new tactic, and these levies cannot do what needs to be done, nor can I. The Vargelan nods. If you truly think you can help, let's put you to the test. If you're asking me to kill them, that's going to be a no. She waves off the levies who flank her. Her gestures are short and choppy, sharp and irritated. It's these damnable sticka, she says. I speak to them, I offer, cajole, negotiate, and threaten. Yet they persist in their digging, and every day another house in the cliffs above slips into the sea. If the digging does not cease, the city itself may crumble. So here's my request. Find a way into their lair, remove their precious eggs, and return them to me. These hostages shall ensure the future of the city above, and also turn a tidy profit if I can get them all. She pauses. If you can negotiate a lasting settlement that does not require such drastic measures, you may also pursue that method, but I've been trying for days with no success. Yes, I think I'll try, but it's not going to involve stealing eggs.
I'll remember that.
Good. We need to stop the sticker before they bring down the entire substructure of the city. She pauses and lowers her voice. If you manage to infiltrate their lair, be sure to acquire all their eggs. I suspect they will have multiple clusters, and we will need them all if we want to negotiate from a position of strength. Ooh, I got an item. She hands you a synth ball with a blinking device inside. Once you're in the lair, activate this. It'll show you all the tunnels, the egg clusters, and the sticker themselves. Better to know what you will face before you charge ahead. Alright, it's a cipher. Clears the fog of war in the current area. Awesome. I might not use it here, I might use it elsewhere. I'd like to ask some questions before I go. She sighs. Very well. Be aware that the time you spend with me is more time for the sticker to undermine the city. I'm looking for a pale woman named Matkina. The name is familiar, and pale hunters are rare. One would imagine I might recall someone of that description. Alas, I do not. The White Death. What does he want with her? You are familiar with Matkina, aren't you? She holds up her hands. Only by reputation. It may be that she found employment with the council at one time. I know no more. Can you tell me about yourself? She warbles deep in her throat. I am Pelii, an accredited agent of the slave families. I act with their full faith and authority to resolve the sticker crisis. This is good. If I help Pelii, I might have the leverage I need to then sway the clerk into basically letting Eratus off the hook for crashing that airship and having the council cover the costs. How can I reach the sticker lair? If I knew, I would go there myself. The sticker are quick to dispatch intruders, and I doubt they would take humans or Vargelans there of their own accord. Perhaps a construct of some sort or a digging machine. But I know little of fabrication or manufacturing, so I will leave that for you to explore. Can I speak with Chikekt? This massive creature looms over you, a scent like lightning, and an underground cavern washes you over you, and it reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It chitters and rumbles, waving its large claws to an expressive dance. Something about the smell, sounds, and gestures seems familiar, a niggling itch in the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a sticus, a huge, burrowing insectoid. It points to itself and says, Chikekt. It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. You almost have the sense of the language, the structure, the feel, the sound and scent. The itch in your mind intensifies. You can feel the memory of the stickus language waiting to reveal itself. What can you tell me about this place? It looks at you intently, and then its spatulate fingers begin a slow and careful dance. The sound it makes are slow chitters that rise and fall in pitch, accompanied by the smell of ozone. Good rock, full of electricity. Can you tell me about the sticker? It scrabbles briefly at the wall, and a bit of lightning flares about the crown of antennae on its head. Its shoulders shrug, and you smell dust. What do you think of Pelii? The sticker seems discombobulated for a moment. Who? Then it thinks a little more. Then it sprays out a blast of pheromones, and you smell the sharp tang of acid and weakened stone. It smells like distrust. I found this stickus in Cliff's Edge. It's hiding in a refuse heap, and the humans want to kill it. Can you help? It looks at you for a long moment, almost as if it can't believe what it just heard. Is weak, outcast, not feed self, burden on broodmates, should be dead. The odor that rises from the stickus is dry and musty. The scent of an insect's corpse curled on a windowsill. It's disgusting. Weak or not, it doesn't deserve to die at the hands of a mob. It's your kin. Wow. I could get a really good chance if I spend a buttload of points. Well, I have a large pool. What the hell?
I'll remember that.
Again, a long moment in which the sticker stares at you. You have the sense that it's evaluating you with eyes that see beyond the human visible spectrum. Human care strange. Why so much for a person of sticka? A stray breeze whirls a zephyr of bafflement past your nose. But yes, if human care, Chikekt care, will save. Alright, so I saved the outcast. The deformed sticker sees you approach and it grunts and chitters with pleasure. The scent of newly unearthed stone surrounds it. It waits patiently for your words. You survived. How are you now that you have returned to your native habitat? It shrugs and points to the stick of tunnels. It points to itself and draws a circle around itself. Its chittering sounds almost familiar. Almost. How are the other sticka treating you? A scent surrounds you like air in a tunnel, just before it opens into a vast cavern. It reminds you of fear of the unknown. The sticka scratches a small design in the earth. What are you eating down here? It points to a small heap of discharged and inert Numenera. Looking more closely, it seems that these are primarily electrical power sources. Alright, let me briefly go back to the surface and talk to the kids. Now that I saved their sticker. If anything, I should at least explain to them what has happened so they're like, oh no, where did our friend go?
I'm ready.
The boy jumps up as you approach. He's ecstatic. You got the stickers away. Thank you, sir. We were so worried the locals were going to get him. I couldn't believe it when the ground opened up and the other sticker took him below. I don't think they'd ever accept him. You must have spun them quite the tale. It was the right thing to do. Ooh, I got some charm paste. And what is charm paste? Oh, it's a cipher. Active until next sleep. Plus 45% on persuasion tax. Wow, that is a powerful cipher. Awesome. So when I really need to persuade somebody, I slap some of this. Between this, already having persuasion skill, and my silver tongue ability, like I should be like persuading people like nobody's business. And we appreciate it. He takes something from inside his shirt. It appears to be some sort of small device. Here, take this. I scrounged it a while back and never found a use for it, but you probably know all about these things. Awesome. So I have 3 ciphers now. I should give one of these to somebody. I mean, I'm not near my cipher limit yet, but still. I don't want to forget about him and then be like, oops. So, let's give this bomb to Red. There we go. And I'm not going to be doing combat anyway, but if combat starts, I'll probably just be hurling esoteries. So Rin can throw a bomb. There we go. Very nice. They still need 21 points to go up.
action!
Back to the Underbelly we go. Man, that charm paste is pretty awesome, though.
All right.
I absolutely, positively need to persuade somebody. I know what to do. I'll return to this later.
Sure.
Let's explore some of the other regions. Wow, Eritis, what the hell were you doing way over there?
Yes. Now.
This vat is filled with wriggling reptilian tails, knotted and tangled together. Ooh, a meatmonger. What you got, meatmonger? A short, solid man stands behind a smoking grill, turning pieces of meat with a pair of grimy tongs. Sweat is pouring down with his grizzled face, yet he's covered head to toe in grease-spattered clothes. His sleeves are tight at the wrists and his collar pinches his neck. Nearby are 3 large vats that are filled with living meat, great amorphous masses of it, with appendages growing from them like the limbs of animals drowning in a meat swamp. The first vat is filled with thick, throbbing muscles, red and raw. The second is flapping monstrosity of leathery wings, and the third sprouts hundreds of lack tails, all wriggling obscenely. The cook looks up from his work and gives you a sweaty smile. Hey ho! I'm Mayok, the meatmonger. What'll you have? I'm looking for a jack named Matkina. Pale skin, hard looks, wears a hood. He nods. Know her well. Buys from me all the time. Haven't seen her in a while, though. You might ask Mapper over by the shanties. He'll be the one with the maps on his skin. Keeps track of everybody. Why are you all bundled up like that? On account of the toes. Nobody wants to see a man with toes growing all over his body. Especially if he's cooking their food. Not even people in the Underbelly got strong enough stomachs for that. Did you say you have toes growing all over your body? Hey, we all got our problems, and I got it better than most around here. Ain't my fault anyway. Well, I guess it's a little bit my fault. So what kind of meat do you sell? He laughs and bangs the grill with his tongs, making sizzling grease fly. 3 kinds, friend. Anin, Drebil, and Lak. Right in those vats, actually. Want some? Sure. I'm game. Sure, what would you like? Anin's shank? Dreble wing? Blacktail? I'll try a blacktail. I'll be 2 shins. He shrugs, giving you a dubious look. With a quick motion of his hand, Mayuk tears 2 wriggling blacktails from the vat, twists them together, and ties them into a loop. Then he drops them onto the grill, where they begin to sizzle and spit. As they cook, the green and white color grows brighter and more intense. After a short while, Mayok takes them from the grill and hands them to you. Somehow, the tails are still wriggling as you take a tentative bite. The meat is flaky, overly sweet, and it fizzles in your mouth like bubbly water. Mayok shakes his head. Kids love these things. Can't stand them myself. I've never seen meat grown in a vat before. How does it work? How? He shrugs. Couldn't tell you. Found a little doodad back when I was a butcher, and I'd fiddle with it all day long, kind of like I do now with my tongues. He waves the tongues around to show you what he means. So one day I was fiddling with this thing while cutting up a carcass, and it kept growing back its missing parts. Cut the tail off, and there it was again, a moment later. Crazy, right? But it gave me an idea. I could open up a grill with no overhead, and it worked. Been cooking the same 3 hunks of flesh for years now. Can you use your doodad on yourself? Funny you should ask. Not long after I found it, I cut myself pretty good. Thought I'd try using my doodad to close up the wound. He grimaces. Well, it worked, but then I started growing toes all over my body. Didn't care for that at all. So I never did it again. Still trying to get rid of the toes. Right.
Of course we can help. Right off?
Hey there, Mapper. From a distance, it looks as if this mutant is wearing a form-fitting suit of finely patterned lines in white, yellow, and pale blue. On closer examination, it becomes apparent that these are tattoos, and they cover nearly the entirety of his body, even his shaved head. His actual clothes are simple and worn, and his boots look as though they've seen hard use. He's studying the meaningless swirls and whirls on his arms, and mouthing names that mean nothing to you. Solvi, Valant, Urgau, Tentries. When he looks up at you, you see that a strange device covers one of his eyes. A deep blue light shines in its center, and it seems to measure and evaluate you as he focuses on you. He smiles as you approach, a broad beaming grin that says he considers you a friend already. I'm Mapper, he says, extending his hand. A new face. New faces mean new places. I've been everywhere around here. I found my way into places long sealed and best forgotten. Met all sorts of people, he frowns. Can't say I cared much for some of them. It's true. His voice is fast, insistent, and incisive. Still, I try. The communities of our world are islands of light. Sometimes they wink out, and sometimes they flare up. I want to link them together. I want to be a bridge. I'm looking for a woman named Natkina. Do you know where I can find her?
Updated my journal.
Natkina? The White Death. I've heard of her. I know where she hides, too. He grins wide, exposing a mouthful of extraordinarily white and clean teeth. I can tell you where she is, but I hate to say it comes with a price. Much as I love to talk about my travels, I need to finish a patch of my Sagas Cliff map, and I need bragging rights for the next time I see the navigators. He shrugs. Also, she might not be happy I've told her. But I might be able to help you find it. For a trade, of course. He drops his voice. Have you ever heard of the Changing God? Savior of Sagas Cliffs in times past and so forth? Yeah, I've heard of him. They say he had a sanctuary under the city, a place he used to retreat to and plan for the future while he thought on his past. You know, making possibility maps. That sanctuary is the one important place I haven't seen in Sagas Cliffs, and I need to fill it in my map. As far as I can tell, it's not far past the Stickle Lair. The problem I'm having is that I just can't make any sense of their language. Maybe you can talk to them. It's a hell of a price, I know, but there it is. You want to find Natkina? You'll find the sanctuary for me. Is there some other way into the sanctuary besides the Stickle Lair? He sighs, exasperated. There must be. Changing God wasn't the kind of person who just put one entrance into the place. But I haven't been able to find the back door for the life of me. Alright, I'll be back when I found the sanctuary.
If you want a job done right.
Thugs. Oh, we got Folsom. What is this?
All right.
Oh, wow. That's a bloody-ass pit. The grisly crime scene is blocked by Folsom and his thugs.
If you're sure it's safe.
This large and heavily muscled woman wears what appears to be rags that should have fallen apart ages ago. She looks so tired that it wouldn't be a surprise if she fell asleep on her feet. And yet, when she opens her mouth, her voice is energetic, like a little girl who's about to get a present. Hello! Can anyone hear what I'm saying? I can't make this work. Without warning, she slaps herself. I hope no one saw that. Oddly, no thoughts at all come from this woman. At least you think she has none. There's a faint whispering at the edge of your hearing, but you can't make out any words. Who are you? Are you talking to me? Her voice swivels awkwardly around, trying to catch a glimpse of you. Oh, you are. My name is Varanoth, Champion of the Wastes. The woman flinches at the sound of the very different, booming voice that came from her own mouth. That's not my name, you stupid thing. It's Varanoth, Champion of the Wastes. Damn, I come from a land you've never heard of. Damn it. I guess I'm not allowed to say. You're controlling a construct, aren't you? That's not a... You aren't in control of your body, are you? I am. I just don't know how it all works. The woman clenches a massive fist, tendons standing against her skin like steel cables. This isn't actually my body. I'm just talking through her and trying to move around. A foot lifts, freezes, and falls back to the ground. He keeps yelling over me if I talk about something I'm not supposed to, she says, lowering her voice. But maybe if I speak carefully. Her chin drops to her chest. My family explores the world using special tools. The body stabs itself with its finger pointedly. But they tell me I'm too young to help, so I waited until everyone was sleeping and, the head lolls back on its neck, winking at the roof of the cavern. Are you an explorer too? I am, but not like you. Oh, she says. For some reason, I thought that you were a champion of the wastes, too. Damn, it did it again, didn't it? Just don't tell anyone what I am, alright? What can that construct do? Well, it's really hard to break. My mother, that's who usually controls it, once got stepped on by an adult earthshaker. It just stuck her in the ground like a nail. The woman flexes a massive bicep. Am I flexing? The girl says. I'm trying to flex. Anyway, it's also incredibly strong. Punch holes in mountains strong. The arm flops back to her hip. And it's not really a construct. There's no metal inside. She has blood, bones, perfect human expressions. Not that you can tell from how I do it. The girl adds sourly. The woman's face grimaces along with her. Why do your people explore? Our impenetrable fortress in a lost valley is falling apart. I think we should just go out into the world for real, but no. My family is afraid. The fingers on the woman's right hand wiggle like they're playing an instrument. Her dead expression doesn't change even as the girl's voice rises. I'm not, of course, but they won't even let me use this thing. I have to sneak around. Like a child. Alright, well, goodbye.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
This man towers over you, enormously fat and draped in gaudy robes. His expression is calm, stern, even, as he regards the bloody mess spread across the floor and wall. The hooded figures on either side of him tense as you approach. He turns to inspect you, eyebrow lifted, and raises his hand. His bodyguards relax, watching you. In the space of a second, his eyes flick over you. He nods, apparently to himself, as if your presence has confirmed something he expected. One of the cast-off godlings. That explains the missing pieces. What are you doing in the Underbelly, Falling Star? How do you know who I am? An odd question, he says, frowning. You fell from the sky like a comet and somehow survived. My people have been watching you since you set foot on the beach. He cocks his head. Now that I have answered your question, answer mine. What are you doing down here? I'm looking for someone. Are you? He says. I know everyone in the Underbelly, and I am seeking someone as well. Perhaps we can help each other.
Remember that.
He turns his back on you, staring down at the vast pool of blood. This is all that remains of Weedle, one of my proteges. I had hopes for him. Now they will never be realized. The Underbelly is poor without him. The rage beneath his voice cuts each word shorter and shorter. Bring me any information you find. Help me discover the identity of his killer, and you will be rewarded. He exhales sharply, then turns around. The fury you glimpsed in him is buried once more. There is an assassin named Matkina, he says. She is known as the White Death. I have helped her find work in the past, but she has become erratic. If she is not involved, she might know who is. If you wish to help in this matter, ask her what she knows. The creature named Mapper may know where she is. I've already met Mapper. I'll find out where Matkina is hiding. I will observe your investigation with great interest. Do you have any idea about the killer's motive? I have suspicions, he says, a muscle on his cheek twitching, and I have enemies. It takes no imagination to conclude that this was meant to hurt me. He shakes his head, but the killer did not slit Weedle's throat and leave him for me to find. No, they spilled an ocean of his blood and scrawled nonsense on the walls. If this is a message for me, I cannot interpret it. It suggests the killer is crazy, but which of my enemies are insane? I want to examine the murder scene behind you. At first, Folsom doesn't respond. He merely stares down at you, through you. I will not have you trampled through his blood without cause, he says at last, so there had better be one. I don't need your help that badly, Godling. I know you're grieving for your protege. All I want is to catch his killer. Unblinking, he regards you, his face a stoic mask, an iron wall. Finally, he nods. Let him pass when he's ready, he tells the hooded figures at his side. They incline their heads.
Yes.
Not much remains of Folsom's former protege beyond a vast, still pool of blood with a skinned hand at its center. A bloody circle scrawled on the wall nearby. You study the dashes and bleeding pinpricks binding this circle. They aren't symbols in any known human tongue, but you sense their purpose. The circle was almost inconsequential. These sigils gripped the shape of it and pushed it through time and space. This was, however briefly, a trans-dimensional portal to another place. Now it is dead. Before you can look away from the circle, a memory bulges painfully through your thoughts, and the memory isn't yours. Let's do it. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. A strip of blistered land coils through a void as black as a gaping mouth. The air is thick, foul, and textured with the slickness of maggots. Nausea slams into you, filling your head, infecting your thoughts. You shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Gain 2 XP, took 2 damage. Yeah. It's alright, I can stand to take a little bit of damage. Let's check the hand. A flayed hand with long, slender fingers lies palm up in the center of the pool of blood. The rest of the victim is missing.
Making a note.
You step away. Okay. I thought I might be able to tell him about this having been a portal, but nope. So that should put me a little bit closer to level up for them. Yeah, 17 points more.
I'm going.
Crooked Keek. A small, hollow-cheeked mutant sings a soft, wavering tune to herself. Yellow bruises discolor her skin. Wounds form not from violence, but from malnutrition, and her prominent bones bend and twist at odd angles. Still, she smiles. She smiles at the oily water, devoid of any fish. She smiles as she arranges her empty basket beside her, and she smiles at you when she sees you standing over her. Hello! I'm Crooked Keek of the Cold Canyon tribe. I haven't seen you down here before. I hope you're not here to fish. They're nibbling instead of biting today. She coughs into her cupped hands, a raw and ragged hacking that bends her double. You take her for a child at first, but after studying her features, it's clear she's in her late teens. It's only some mutation and her bony stature, born of starvation, that makes her seem childlike. You said you're part of the Cold Canyon tribe. Are they down here too? No, she says lightly. They're all gone, either dead or gone. She still isn't meeting your eyes. There used to be a lot of us. We came here when I was a baby, running from, she pauses thinking, a war. Some sort of war that never ends. My parents thought we would be safe here, but the tribe died off, one by one. She turns away, wiping her eyes. This city is hard on people like us. How was the city hard on your tribe? They were used to living in the wilderness, so they knew what they could eat safely. Here, it's not so simple. My mother told me that 10 people died eating tainted food before we found this fishing hole. She stares into the murky water. Then there's the disease you can catch in the city. And the hate. A lot of us were killed just for being hard to look at, I guess. Is it as hard for you to survive here as it was for your people? No, she says, smiling. I don't have a lot to eat, but I'm more resistant to sickness than my parents were, and my people here know me. They leave me alone. You said everyone in your tribe is dead? Not everyone, she says with a brave little smile. I'm here, and some of us just left for better places. I bet they're doing really well. Your real name is Crooked Keek? Sort of. My parents called me Keek, but the nickname came later. She hunches over, her eyes darting shadily from side to side. It's because I sell junk for high prices and bribe the levies to carry people off in the night. She laughs. No, not really. People call me Crooked because I look twisted and broken. I wish they wouldn't, but it's okay. I am crooked, right? Don't you mind people call you crooked? Not really. I can't call them liars, can I? She smiles, but it's not the radiant thing you saw before. Why do you think the fish aren't biting? The fish down there are pretty fast and smart. They're nibbling at the bait, then swimming away. She watches the line with a combination of hunger and wariness. It's hard for me to get to the pole in time when the rod twitches, and harder to reel in the catch. I'm not very strong. Can I try fishing with your gear? You're welcome to it, she says. Only if you do find something, could you share? She trails off, blushing. Never mind, company's better than a scrawny fish. Do you know where I might find a woman named Matkina? Matkina, she gasps. It's not what people call her. She leans towards you, eyes as round as coins. They call her the White Death, she says. She's an assassin. I don't know where she is, and I hope I never do.
Go.
Oh, let's get some fishing. This thin, glowing thread pierces the surface of the water and plunges deep into the black depths, like a white line drawn in shining ink. You try flicking this shining string, and your finger goes right through it. Could you try catching something for me? I've had no luck today. Besides, everything down there is pretty much stronger than me. You pull on the line, and something in the dark below pulls back. You press your lips together and reel in your catch. A muddy cipher dangles from the end of the line. It's beautiful, Crooked Keek breathes. I was just hoping for fish. I could sell it and eat for weeks. It's yours. Thank you. Use my fishing pole whenever you want. Take hold of the fishing rod and begin reeling in the line. Try one more time. You might have better luck tomorrow. Okay. Well, I'll come back the next day and see if I can catch you some more food. I didn't really catch you food this time, but I caught you something that you can use to buy food, so just as good, right?
Alright, here I go.
Oh, there's Allergen. Oh, there's a lot more to explore down here. Okay, well, we'll leave off here. Next time we'll talk to Allergen. We'll look around the Underbelly some more, and we'll go from there.